Getting everything queued up. I think we're almost there. Our partners are sitting. Thank you. All right, everyone. I think we're about there to get started, and I do want to welcome everyone here to the city of Hemet, particularly the Hemet Public Library. Beautiful facility here, and more importantly, being here for the inaugural Hemet Business Roundtable. We have a full agenda, but before we get started, we have a couple house warming items to cover. If you can please turn off your cell phones at this time. So I'll give you a couple seconds here. If you have your cell phone, you could please just turn that off. And definitely take a lot of pictures. We definitely hashtag the city of Hemet, definitely get us out there and go from there. So again, thank you for being here. We have a great agenda for you. But again, before we get started, I do want to pass it over to our Hemet mayor. So to say our welcoming remarks, if we can please welcome the mayor of the city of Hemet, Joe Miles. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Good afternoon. Pretty hot out there. Let me tell you, I didn't think I was going to make it. I was hoping I could avoid it by something. But thank you for joining us today. It's wonderful to see so many dedicated individuals committed to the economic prosperity of Hemet. Our primary goal of our roundtable is to provide essential updates on city business and to share new grant opportunities, discuss the future of Hemet, answer questions from the audience, and hear from our partners. We'll start with a recap on economic development, including recent developments, ongoing projects, and future plans that will impact our community, along with sharing results from the Hemet Business Citywide Survey. Next, we'll explore the city updates and city grant opportunities available to local businesses. These grants can provide crucial funding to support growth and innovation in Hemet. We'll also discuss our vision on the future of Hemet, focusing on long-term goals and strategic plans to enhance our city. We will also have several partner presentations lined up today. Our partners will share their insights, initiatives, and at no cost business solutions. Our discussions will emphasize economic prosperity, highlighting strategies to assist small businesses, attract new businesses, and investment into the city of Hemet. We aim to increase the quality of life for all residents. We'll explore projects and programs that enhance living standards and community well-being. Finally, we'll talk about building a stronger local economy. This includes fostering collaboration among businesses, encouraging entrepreneurship, and supporting sustainable growth. And I want to thank you again for being here. Now I'm going to have Ben Sandoval, our Economic Development Manager, come on up and he'll start the program. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Well, again, welcome everyone. I am Ben Sandoval, the Economic Development Manager. And as of tomorrow, I would have been here now for 5 months. And wow, has it been an amazing journey up to this point in a good way. And I'm very excited to be here. Now, before we get into the presentation and some great stuff that economic development has been up to the past 5 months, if you haven't done so already, right in the front, we have a front desk. If you haven't done so, please check in. At the same time, we've had these 3x5 cards. If you have a question yourself, this is what it's about as well. We want to hear from you. So please write your question, first and last name, followed by your question, so we can grab those. And then once you're ready for us to collect those, you can just raise your hand. I believe we have Alan right there on the left of me. On the right, I have Kristen that's going to be going on, and Kathy, our librarian here for the city of Hemet. So with that, also would like to welcome our Vice Mayor, Jackie Peterson. We can give her a round of applause, please. Thank you. Also, representative from the Assembly Member, Dr. Corey Jackson. Do we believe she was here? Can we have you please stand up, please? Thank you. And I believe I also saw an elected official from San Jacinto. We can please have you rise, and thank you for being here. And any other elected officials or representatives that I may have missed. No? Well, thank you. Well, with that being said, we will get started. If I can have the PowerPoint available here. Great. So as I had mentioned, I am Ben Sandoval, the Economic Development Manager, and today I'm going to cover two things. Number one, what we've been up to in economic development the past 5 months, and at the same time, the citywide survey. Some of you may have seen the QR code when you enter the building here. You're able to still take the survey yourself. If you scan that QR code, it's a simple 5-minute survey to find out more about your services, wants, and needs, challenges, etc., to better assist us. Great here. So might be a little small there, but I do want to cover. As you can see, this is an ambitious goal that we had here the first 5 months, and believe it or not, those are just some of the many items that we've been able to accomplish here in economic development. When I first came up to the city here, coming to 5 months tomorrow, was economic prosperity, economic growth, bringing the top right of businesses so there isn't any leakages here in Hemet. What does that mean? You residents, businesses going to other residential or other neighboring cities and using your dollars there instead of our own city. We want to have that here. So what have we done? We created a survey to hear from you. We also went to the 2 months ago, the largest retail convention in the nation when it comes to hospitality. And believe it or not, we had over 24 meetings there with different private investors, brokers, realtors, roundtables, and how we can make Hemet better. At the same time, we also participate in the Riverside County Arts and Culture, and guess what? Hemet's going to be a visiting location next year, which means more revenue to our city, more tourism, which is what the goal is here. New partnerships. Hemet has had a great history of partnerships, but you know what we did? We turned those partnerships into relationships. Two different things. We want to build a relationship with our partners. So we rekindle relationships, and we even strengthen them with the Riverside County Economic Development, Workforce Development, all the other partners you're going to see here today do presentations. We also participate in the Bedrock Valley. That's a nice little 5-10K marathon run. We plan to expand that to 2 or 3 next year. Events, community events is going to be a big push. So if you yourself have an event in mind, maybe you're thinking of the next big Coachella for all we know, we want to hear about your idea. We genuinely do. We've also focused on bringing the film industry to Hemet. We have a lot of beautiful locations, folks, that people want to see in the movie theaters. So we really have connected with the California Film Commission to make that a reality, and we're going to be working with them closely so we can have more filming destinations here, and not only in Hemet, but in our San Jacinto Valley. If our neighbors on the north side win, we win. They win, we win. A nice little regional collaboration. Expanded on community events. I think I mentioned that. If you have the next idea, please let us know. Commercial facade program that came out of economic development. City manager will be talking more about that and what that looks like, but it's really amplifying and making our downtown district more appealing. Moving forward here, Discover Inland Empire, one of the biggest organizations here in Southern California in regards to tourism. We are going to enter the tourism game like no other. We want to see international tours, international travel, because guess what? They stimulate the local economy. And not just for a few days, maybe a week or so. And in that tour section, Hemet is a visiting location as well. If you haven't done so already, we've created an economic development webpage. Has anybody visited the economic development webpage by any chance? Well, guess what? If you haven't, please do so. hemet.ca.gov /economic development, or econ, one of the two much shorter ones. And at the same time, I've also had over 100 meetings. Some of you I've already met with already. Some of you I haven't. I look forward to meeting with you in the near future and what that looks like. We also have a great trash enclosure program. I've been able to visit all 21 locations of those businesses, and guess what? It's a big initiative here, folks. If you, your business, have a trash enclosure you want to enclose, city manager is going to touch more on that, what that program looks like. But we have the initiatives available now. Social media and economic development platforms. We've been able to grow our social media in the past month just by 400 followers, and we plan to continue revitalizing our social media to keep you all informed. And more importantly, exploring new grants, new federal grants, state grants, county grants. The city can only do so much, but we realize that we need to collaborate to be stronger. A city is stronger when there's more collaboration, more cities, more partners, and that's what we want to do. And finally, if you see the last bullet point, and we genuinely mean that, and I hope all of you, when you leave here, you do get a sense that Hemet is back. No. Thank you. Thank you. Now, oh, look at that. I went the other way. Coming soon, You guys are the first ones to hear this. We have a beautiful economic development strategic plan. The city manager and I have been working on that very closely, and we plan to roll that out here in the next month. And it's going to have key initiatives that the city's going to be going after very aggressively here, not in the next 10 years, not in the next 5 years, next year, next 2 years, next 3 years. We're in business. So, what you came for, the citywide results. These are the results that we've had. So just to give you a little brief overview here, we've done a citywide survey. We've sent out this survey to over 2,586 registered businesses that we have via email. We mailed those out, and we've gotten quite a few responses. We would like to share what those responses are up to this point. Those numbers can change if you're taking the survey right now, but I'm going to go through this real quickly since we have a packed agenda here. How would you rate so let me start off here. 1 would be the lowest, 5 would be the highest. 5 is, wow, we're shooting flying colors. 2.5, right in the middle. How would you rate Hemet, California as an overall place to do business? We are at a 3.22, so we have room for growth there. Overall value you receive from the city of Hemet for your tax dollars and fees. We're at a 2.86. And we're showing you this because we want to be transparent with all of you. We want to be frank. What direction we're going in so you yourself see what we're doing. You yourself are going to see, wow, the city is putting their word where their mouth is. We're going to put the tires on the road here, folks. And it's starting soon. Overall safety in the area where you feel your business is located, 2.98. So any questions you may have related to your safety of your business, we're very fortunate to have PD here, so we'll be able to answer those particular questions. Access to a trained workforce development here. We're at 2.71. All these questions that we have, guess what? We wanted to face it right to the center. So we brought key partners here that will be able to answer them. That's what their presentation here is for, so you'll be able to see, well, how do I get a better workforce trained? Well, you're in luck. They're here. Moving forward here, supporting the citywide of Hemet for small businesses owners, we're at 2.75. That's what we're having this, and we plan to continue even having more. And I'm going to go through these fairly quickly here so we can have enough time for all the other presentations, but I want to cover this. Do you think the city of Hemet is business friendly? 25 said yes, 16 said no, 22 said maybe. And we're sharing this because we want to be transparent. The last 2 years, please indicate the sources of funding you've received in operation. We've noticed personal savings tends to be one of the higher ones. So guess what? It tells us we may have to be more aggressive in regards to city funding, grants, looking at different initiatives. Maybe this one-time funding that council has been very aggressive in doing economic development, to give you an idea. In the next 2 years, will your business need any of the following? Increased sales. That's going to be a big one. And in the event that you are going to be closing, we have workforce development here that can assist you. And all these particular answers or survey responses or results, please, you can contact me. I'll be more than glad to share all of these responses. But something that was key I want to share with you, in the next 3 years, do you see your business planning to do the following? Folks, 40 answered expand or renovate. So that tells us that the local economy is stimulating, but we can do more to stimulate that even greater, but we're on the right trajectory. And lastly, the last one I would like to share with you is approximately how many employees do you have? What does this tell us? Hemet is a small business community, 0 to 20. 96.3% of our businesses here in Hemet are 0 to 20. So we understand we are a small business community, and that is why we're here to service you. So I have much more to talk about, but that's just in a nutshell. Questions we can answer by your not the QR codes, by your card. So you write that down just to move things along. I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. But I do want to thank you, and that is my presentations for economic development. Thank you. Great. Just want to make sure we have the right PowerPoint up. And without further ado, the next presentation, we are honored to have the city manager of the city of Hemet, Mr. Mark Presswidge. City manager.
All right. Thank you, Ben. I think everyone can tell we really got 3 employees in one with Ben, right, in his energy. Thank you, Ben. All right. I know I'm going to be responsible for navigating a PowerPoint as well. I'll give that a second. Really want to acknowledge, first of all, the turnout. We're so grateful for you to be here today to hear some information about city programs, but also to provide feedback from us. And we also, at the end of the day, want to connect you to additional resources. And so that's our purpose. A focus of the City Council over the last 12 months has been to really focus on our business community, as well as essentially safe and clean related initiatives. The council put in place 84 different initiatives 12 months ago, and I'm proud to tell you that nearly 50 of those have been completed. And we're going to talk about a number of those items today. Just incredible work over the last 12 months. Want to acknowledge the leadership of the City Council members in advancing this work plan. Everything I'm going to talk about in this brief presentation was initiated in the last 12 months. So we're going to begin by talking about some City of Hemet business initiatives, and these are important to be aware of. Many of these are coming, and I want you to be aware of those. Some of them are on the street today. We're going in almost consecutive order. We began the year with deploying a vandalism relief program. This is a program that will reimburse you for costs associated with vandalism of your retail business. So if you had a broken door, a broken window, something like that, this is a program that is available to you. If you have insurance and you made a claim but you paid a deductible, this program will offset your deductible. The good news about this program is it dates back to January 1 of 2023. So if you have expenses from January 1, 2023 forward today, we still have a number of dollars associated with this. This was a $200,000 commitment by the City Council, but it will pay up to $7,500. So you can find more information on the city's website on that. Number two, Ben mentioned a trash enclosure pilot program. These are grants for up to $20,000. I will tell you, we have about 21 applications, I believe now. And what we're learning is $20,000 will not cover the cost of a trash enclosure today. And so the city is going to be bringing back a slight alternative. Our plan B will be to aggregate these into a single project that will be about $500,000 of work for a contractor. We're hoping to drive down the price on that. If we can get it close to $20,000 or close, we'll talk to the City Council about potentially augmenting that investment. And so that program is live today. If you have a business with a trash enclosure or trash receptacles in the back, those trash enclosures are going to be mandatory in the next couple of years. So we have grants today to help enclose those. But imagine what happens when we enclose those trash containers. No more graffiti, no more illegal dumping. It's unsightly. We close it up and it looks elegant. You can see some of the nice ones with some of our newer businesses that are now conditioned to build trash enclosures today. A facade improvement program that Ben just mentioned. About 2 weeks ago, the City Council approved this program. We're going to deploy it over the next 3 months. It's going to begin with a letter that goes out to every eligible business. So our focus for this program is primarily the downtown. We have a downtown specific plan, but this is basically most of the downtown. It's going to be on Florida all the way out to San Jacinto. And for micro grants, these are small business type grants. These are facades, so exterior improvements, windows, lights, doors, paint jobs, awnings, planters, things like this, signage, a lot of eligible types of activities under this facade improvement program. It has a very low barrier to entry, and it will pay up to $30,000. So at a minimum, we're going to be able to do about 8 projects if everyone used $30,000 each. But not everyone needs $30,000. You may just have a sign that needs replacing, or you know someone that needs a sign that needs replacing, and we probably know sign people in the region. But this program is really intended to help to begin to change the look and feel of some of our distressed properties, right? So with a 5% match, we're expecting we're going to deploy a lot of dollars into our downtown. Secondly, we have a macro grant program. So the same program, but we're targeting a large shopping center. So we're thinking about distressed larger shopping centers that need a complete exterior remodel, right? And if you've seen some of these, I think, around different towns. You can start with something that looks a little dated, but it goes through that remodel, and you'd never know the difference between that remodeled shopping center and a brand new build, right? That's the goal here. So we're only going to be able to probably do one of those this year, but it's possible that there'll be two. We'll see. But this grant will require 20%. That's still a very low barrier to entry. When we look at other communities in California, typically that match requires about a 30 to 33% match at minimum. Many programs are at 50% or higher. So that's a really nice program. So we're going to mail letters out. We're going to go through a 2-month application process. We're going to wait. We're going to then investigate those, make sure they're eligible, because for example, one criteria is you can't have any outstanding code enforcement cases with the city to participate in this program. So we'll verify eligibility, and then we will make recommendations to the Planning Commission, and they will rank and prioritize and award grants for each of those programs. Another very important initiative is our Hotel Incentive Program. This is a program that is intended to really help our hospitality sector. It's difficult for us to program overnight events that will drive sales tax, drive commerce, if we don't have high quality hospitality assets. We haven't built a hotel in 20 years. This program is available for any hotel in Hemet, and we hope they take advantage of it. It's a very generous program, possibly the most generous in California. Most cities don't have a program to help them renovate. That's typically on the private sector. This program is a 25-year cost-sharing methodology that front loads the investment back to our hotels for the first 10 years at 90%, and then it dips down incrementally over the next 25 years. There's a second half to this program, and that's really an economic development play for the city of Hemet, and that is we're incentivizing with a 30-year, even higher front-loaded methodology, 90% of the hotel tax back to the hotel investor for the first 15 years, 75% for 5 more years, and 50% for another 10 years. This is an incredible program. We're hoping that it will be a catalyst to the reinvigoration of our downtown, but it has to be built within 1/4 mile of State and Florida, where our original historic hotel was located. So we're hopeful that, and I think I've already heard some good rumors about this program and people that are really doing the math on this. But that's exciting as that comes forward. I will tell you, these programs only have a 5-year shot clock on them. It's intended to help them make a decision. We don't want them to wait. We want them to renovate their assets now. This program will evaporate in 5 years, 4 years and 9 months, I think, if we're counting. So we want them to participate in this program. We're having a beautification contest. Has anyone seen this on social media? Not everyone. Okay, we're boosting this, we're plugging it a little bit, but there are 7 $1,000 awards. Most of those are for the residential community, but there is one overall citywide award for the commercial businesses, the retail businesses. So if you have recently updated your business, we'd love to have a photograph of what you did. And you can submit that on the city's website. If you go to hemetca.gov, there's a link about this program on there. So we're hoping that this program is contagious, right? That businesses will see what's done, people will see their neighbor's house, and it will translate to other remodels down the road. Monthly business walks, as well as a monthly Business Connect program that we partner with the Chamber of Commerce. I want to acknowledge Cindy Lemke with the Hemet San Jacinto Chamber of Commerce. Cindy, raise your hand. We partner with the Chamber on monthly walks, and we've been almost everywhere in town over the last 7-8 months. And we've learned a lot. We've talked to businesses. We've asked them what's going well, what can we do better. And we're interested, and we've learned a lot of great ideas out of that. In fact, one idea has deployed into an initiative under the corner of Stetson and Stetson and Sanderson. There's a little underground village there, and we're going to be putting some gates up with the help of the city council that will deter some homeless behavior and some bad activity near businesses and homes in that area. Finally, the Hemet Downtown Theater, has anyone read about that in the recent week or two? The city has acquired the parcel immediately to the west of the Downtown Theater, and we're working on acquiring the parcel to the east of the Downtown Theater. The theater would like to expand the asset and almost double the number of seats. It will be almost 1,000 seats. An expanded theater will allow them to do a lot more programming, modernize the facility. But think of that as an economic driver, a catalyst project that can ignite the downtown and bring a renaissance to Hemet. But imagine that and a hotel and an improved landscaping along the railway corridor. That's in motion as well. There's some exciting ideas that are starting to happen, and we expect to drop at least one kitchen grant for a restaurant in downtown Hemet over the next 12 months. I put the new economic development manager, Ben Sandoval, on my list because that was something else we did in the last 12 months. This position has not been funded for about 7 or 8 years, but you can tell the work that happens when we have this type of person with our organization. So thank you for being here, Ben. It's important. One of my jobs as a city manager is rumor control, but it's also marketing, right? And today I'm inviting you to be ambassadors for Hemet. We still have a lot of work to do, but this is data from the city of Hemet and the state of California and federal FBI based on federal FBI data. I'm going to show you violent crime followed by property crime. But this is a trend. Hemet's in green, the state of California is in blue, and the federal government, United States, is in the gold there. We peaked in crime in the 2015 era, and at that time it led to the community saying enough is enough. We're going to pass a tax, and and the focus was directing that to public safety, police and fire. And what we've seen is a steady decrease. In fact, look at that green and the blue separation. We were deeply above, or significantly above, the state average back in that era. But ever since 2016, when that ballot measure was passed, the money began flowing in 2017. Those numbers have begun to change. We dipped below the state average a couple of years ago, and I'm going to talk to you about some programs that we've launched this year that we're expecting when we look back 5 years from now on this same data set. We expect that number to continue to go down, and we're not satisfied. We're just sharing with you the facts. The facts are we're lower than state average, and we're at the national average, and we're pressing lower, and our goal is to keep going. This is the look at property crime. We're in green, state and national average on the bottom. And we're, again, below the state average and right at the national average. And our focus is to continue to move those numbers. Okay, let's talk about public safety investments just in the last 12 months. We received one of the largest and, frankly, only, not very many of these grants were available, but a retail theft prevention program grant that awarded the city $2.5 million. Many of you may have attended a recent workshop at the police department. Really the old city council, the current city council chambers. Anyone go to that? We invited our retail businesses to this workshop, but we're working with our retail partners to aggregate misdemeanor type events. When we aggregate them, they can be considered felonies and they can be prosecuted. There's a lot of work on that front. The other thing I will tell you is a year ago today, we had 47 cameras in Hemet. These were a single type of camera. They were license plate type reader cameras. With 47 cameras, we were able to solve most crime issues with a color of a vehicle, a direction, and we would find the license plate and be able to solve the crime. We can still do that. We were solving most crimes within a couple of days with those 47 cameras. Today, the council has invested we've received grant funding and made our own investments. The cumulative value of those investments is $1.4 million. We've added 20 more of those new flock cameras, the ones I just described. We're up to 67. We have 4 new live video television cameras in shopping centers. Those are mobile. These are the trailers with a blue light you see. We can listen to people. We can talk to people. We can video 360. We can zoom in. These are very effective. We've shared some interesting stories with the city council about how we've caught a bank robber in Las Vegas with our cameras within the first couple of days, literally, of deploying them. But these are amazing investments, and they're already paying dividends. And we want you to share this information with anyone you want, because this is good news and it deters crime. So let people know that we can figure out who they are pretty quickly. Finally, the Condor cameras are going around key intersections. These are cameras that can be rotated 360, and we can zoom in on people, license plates, things like that. So we can watch someone walk out of Famous Footwear with shoes, and we can watch them walk to the car. We know what color car that is and which direction they're going, and then the flock camera picks up the license plate for us, and we know where to go. It's that simple. This technology has been deployed in Hemet, and it's working. We have also deployed a drone as a first responder program, so this helps with officer safety, situational awareness. It's really nice to have that, those eyes on the ground from up above. Finally, a couple of other items. We are opening a West End substation late summer. It's probably the September timeframe, but it won't be long. The sign's already up on the building. It's on the right side of the street as you're heading out of town. And then what everyone has heard is the ROCKS team has been rebranded Aero, A-E-R-O. So we have some officers available. They'll be at booths. They're back here today in case we have questions related to law enforcement. We'll talk about those. How can you help? I always like to close essentially with a call to action. But we really need your help, because with your help, we can really continue to accelerate the work that we're doing to transform the environment for business investment. So number one, those programs that we talked about, whether they're to help you offset an expense or to help you change the business, please take advantage of those. Contact Ben, contact myself, contact a city person. We'd love to connect you to those opportunities. C-Click-Fix is an app on your phone. It's an app to report potholes, illegal dumping, graffiti, things like that. I reported 2 at lunch today. It's very easy to take a picture. When I drive down the road, I'm on camera mode. I'm looking for graffiti. I'm looking for trash, and I will, when I stop, when I stop all the time. Those guys in the back. When I stop, I will put that into my phone carefully and make sure that we acknowledge it. So one of the other benefits that we've had this year is we've been able to hire a community solutions coordinator with a grant. Christian Tikas, will you raise your hand? Christian is our C-Click-Fix czar. He's our community solutions coordinator, and he's our city ombudsman. So he's a troubleshooter. He can help with any questions you have as well. Consider participating in Hemet Beautiful. Hemet Beautiful was a community call of action to clean up our town on one day. We spent 4 hours with about 300 or 400 people, and we really spread our resources throughout the entire community. It was a lot of fun. We're going to come back next year. If any of you would like to sponsor or participate, we'd love to have you. Consider adopting a street. We're at 11. I think I have rumors today that we're probably looking at 16 or 17 soon. Your business can get some airtime on a sign. It requires a very minimal investment of 2 cleanups a year. You can do more if you want, but we can put your sign. You pick a street anywhere in town. We'd love you to pick a high visible location. If anyone wants to pick up the rest of Dominagoni, let me know. But that's an opportunity for advertising and to really give back to your community. If you know what a 602 letter is, if you have a retail business, anyone read the retail business? If you have brick and mortar, we want you to have a 602 letter. So if there's some transient activity at night on private property, it allows our officers to move them along to a different location. But that's essential. Those have to be filled out every 12 months. We also want and believe strongly that when the chamber is strong, it helps us all. So please, if you would consider speaking with Cindy Lemke about membership in the Chamber of Commerce. We know that a stronger chamber is a stronger valley, a stronger business community. Let me close with this visit hemetca.gov/economic econ dev. That's the website that Ben is talking about that he's grown, and we're going to continue to please keep an eye on that website because we're going to update that pretty regularly. I have a few updates for Ben to do tomorrow. Okay, we're gonna close actually with a video. This should be about 2 minutes. Raise your hand if I need to push the button. Push the button? No? You don't know? You don't know about the video? Okay. See if I can, no, it's not gonna help. It's not in the PowerPoint version? No? Okay. Could you go to the city website under Econ Dev and run that video? It's our first annual. Imagine how efficient we're going to be by round 2 next year, right?
Thank you.
It's okay. I have one final slide that says thank you at the end here. It looks like this. There we go. That's the right sound, but the video's not moving yet. Here we go.
Nestled in the Hemet-San Jacinto Valley, Hemet offers natural beauty, rich history, and modern amenities. Hemet is an outdoor recreation hub with facilities that cater to all ages and interests. From the newly built pickleball courts and a new state-of-the-art skate park, to extensive trails for mountain biking and rock climbing, Hemet is perfect for those living active lifestyles who enjoy the outdoors. Residents value the beauty and tranquility of Diamond Valley Lake, a crown jewel in our community. This stunning reservoir offers picturesque views, boating, fishing, and 26 miles of hiking opportunities. Significant developments are on the horizon, with new hotels set to open, enhancing Hemet's appeal as a destination for visitors and investors. Public safety is a top priority at Hemet. Our city boasts a crime rate below the state average, making it an attractive and secure place to live, work, and play. We are investing significantly in public infrastructure, recognizing that well-maintained roads and modern facilities are crucial for economic growth. Our streets are undergoing extensive improvements to ensure smooth transportation and connectivity, which is vital for businesses and residents. Community spirit and engagement are cornerstones of Hemet. Our residents come together for events like our annual Christmas parade and most recently Hemet Beautiful, where we celebrated civic pride through neighborhood beautification projects. These initiatives foster a sense of belonging and demonstrate the collective effort to maintain and enhance our city's charm. Hemet is home to the historic Ramona pageant, tradition cherished for over 100 years. This annual outdoor play attracts visitors from outside our region and highlights the rich cultural heritage of the valley. With a welcoming business climate, a safe and vibrant community, and ongoing investments in infrastructure and amenities, Hemet offers unparalleled opportunities for growth and success. Join us in Hemet, where community, opportunity, and growth meet.
All right. We're proud of Hemet, and we're proud of that video, and we're using that as part of our economic outreach. So now we're going to transition into question and answer phase. We have a few people that will be standing on both sides of the aisles. If you've written a question for us that you have, we're happy to pick those up. We're going to bring those up to Ben. Ben's going to be our moderator. And whether it's the mayor, myself, or maybe members of our law enforcement team or others, we'll try to answer your questions as best we can. We're going to allocate about 30 minutes for this before we bring in about 5 additional 5 to 10 minute presentations from our resource partners. Sure, comments are great too. And I think we'll try to do the cards first, and then we'll use the microphone here. Why don't we get at least one question going?
Yeah.
Do you have
Perfect.
one?
Yes, I do. Perfect. So number one is, what is being done to help with the homelessness? And I am coming out of my pocket. So the question is, what is the city doing regarding homelessness? There's quite a few items here regarding our subcontract with CityNet. We also have Christian Tikas that we've hired, and he'll be able to talk a little bit more on that if you would like in regards to homelessness, but we are very tackling that, and I know the city manager has a few items as well, but just be aware we have also partnered up with the Workforce Development Board as well to offer those services. Anything you'd like to add, Mayor?
Yeah,
or City Manager?
well, I'd like to add a little bit to that. The city of San Jacinto, in partnership with the city, county of Riverside, pulled down an enormous grant this past 12 months. And from that grant, there are a number of dollars that are going to be dedicated to constructing about 50-ish units that would be essentially supported by wraparound services at a facility. We don't know where the location of that will be. Right now, they're going through a site selection process. But today, both Hemet and San Jacinto and unincorporated Riverside County, the solution for some of the folks that need housing, if there aren't enough beds in traditional nonprofit type arenas, people end up at a hotel, right? What I didn't tell you is 10 of our 13 hotels have a Yelp rating between 1.1 and, or I'm sorry, 1.0 and 1.9. It's not necessarily the best location for someone that needs wraparound services, right? A better solution is a destination where service providers are available to those people that have made a choice to change their life. And today, we expect within probably 6 to 12 months, first step is site selection. Second will be to deploy it. So Riverside County is going to be the overall decision maker on where it goes. They will operate under a contract with CityNet. CityNet provides service to the city of San Jacinto and the city of Hemet. That means about 4 people are designated to do outreach to individuals. This grant that we received also allowed us to hire Christian. It's going to pay for the first 2 years of Christian's position with the city. But what we're doing is having a better dedicated focus on the coordinated assets between the police department, the fire department, often public works and cleaning up activities that are out there, and deterring homelessness. And there was a recent Supreme Court decision this past week that the City Council received a briefing on that updated what was about a 3-year-old rule on related to a Boise case. The case now is Grants Pass. Coincidentally, I'm on an airplane to Grants Pass tomorrow. I'll give you a report card on this. But Grants Pass sued and was sued and appealed, and the United States Supreme Court has now overturned the Boise decision, which allows cities to remove people from public spaces. It's a long story. We're happy to talk to you about some of the finer details. We expect that decision should help local agencies with some of the challenges that we're experiencing.
We also passed something this last council meeting on that coincides with the grant pass.
Right. So the mayor's describing that the council this past Tuesday initiated an ordinance to make sure that our local rules align with the new United States Supreme Court interpretation.
What factors are being considered for a successful revitalization of the downtown district? Great question. Council just recently approved the commercial facade improvement program. And guess what? That actually is correlated to the downtown specific plan. So businesses in all of downtown area will be able to apply. There is these micro grants that the city manager was talking about. They'll be able to take advantage of those and apply to make their outer facade more appealing. We're working with those businesses very aggressively. We're aware that there's different owners, but we want to work with them to revitalize the area because we have, as you had seen earlier, we have a great economic strategic plan that does have the downtown specific plan into consideration because we want people to come to the downtown area. So that's on my end for that question.
Let me add on to that. I mentioned the theater expansion opportunities. I mentioned the hotel program. So those are 2 additional opportunities for downtown. I think I touched on a kitchen grant. We're going to we have $300,000 appropriated in the current year. We're going to need to develop the criteria under how someone would be eligible to participate in that. But we would expect that may lead to a restaurant opening in about a year with that program. And I'll also tell you that the city has partnered with a nonprofit housing developer who's applied for state funding, $38 million of state funding. If awarded, and we're supposed to hear about this in August, but if awarded, $6 million of that award would be given to the city of Hemet. We've already reached an agreement with the Riverside County Transportation Commission to program the railroad right-of-way between Menlo and Acacia all the way through the downtown. But imagine that corridor. We can program 21 feet at the edge. So there'll be a bike path on one side, a light with lights. There'll be lights and a pedestrian path on the other side. And then this desert landscaping, right, that you see in different areas along Florida and a couple other areas in town. So it really will dress up that corridor. And we imagine that in partnership with these other programs is going to begin to ignite or at least reimagine downtown. So we're hoping that's contagious. If the stars align on these grants and opportunities, it's going to be a home run. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
What are you doing for nonprofits who are out in the community doing work as far as grants?
I'll take that. I'm going to probably end up answering a lot of these questions. The council has appropriated $100,000 in the current fiscal year, 24-25. So we're just the first week and a half into this year. We have a grant program that we'll be deploying relatively soon. There'll be an application process. We're going to share that with the chamber. This is why it's good to be a member of the chamber. I would also tell you that please sign up for bi-weekly updates. We have a new newsletter that's a digital newsletter. It's as easy as giving us your email address, going to hemetca.gov. It's on our, you can sign up on the front page there. But we do every other week updates, and in that update we'll definitely be talking about this when we deploy our nonprofit grant program. It's been dormant a couple of years, but it's back this year, and I imagine there'll be grants, anywhere from $0 to $10,000. The council will need to establish what those grant maximums are and how one is eligible, but we would expect to deploy that probably in the next couple of months.
We also meet on the third Wednesday at 12:30 at City Hall in the conference room. We have nonprofits and pastors that meet there, and we talk about what's going on and all the new things that we're working with. So you're more than welcome if you're a nonprofit to come to this meeting, 12:30.
Moving forward here, what about a statue of Ramona to commemorate the play to be placed in front of the library?
Hey, that's a great idea. Art is an economic driver, and the council recently created an arts ad hoc committee, and there's some exciting developments on the arts front as well. We have a couple members of the committee in the audience right now. There's at least 4. Great. There's an active grant. I think it's about $350,000 to $400,000. March of the Mastodons. So really a play on what we found when Diamond Valley Lake was dug up. But this is an initiative that would deploy in a community engaged way. The creation of 26 mastodons, replica mastodons. We would work with individual artists. They would all have names. And there would be a community gathering at Weston Park when we deploy, and then we would permanently install these around the valley. And that would create perhaps tour opportunities, other scavenger hunt opportunities, things like that. So it will be an economic driver, and it's a great idea. We're hoping that also is awarded.
Any resources / focus on agri-tourism? Is it possible to loop resources and grants for the agri-tourism into the meetings? Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, the agri-tourism. But in regards to that, that's what we have, our great resources here. Partners will be talking about all of the at no cost business solutions, subsidized employment. And in regards to events or, visiting those particular ranches or agriculture locations, I would love to speak to you. So whoever posed this question, we can connect after and see what that looks like to spark some sort of tourism in the agricultural realm. And so, yes, great question.
Yeah, there's no active participation on that front yet, but part of the economic strategy that we're working on, this will go through a review process. If you have ideas like agritourism, absolutely. I know it's a terrific initiative in Europe. One of my former cities is actively working on an agritourism initiative today. I think we have some competing challenges. One of the challenges is we only have one Ben. We have to replicate him, but we need to grow revenue in partnership with the business community to help us grow Ben. We've already got really 3 in one, but imagine if we had a second Ben.
Perfect. At this moment, this concludes the cars. Are there any other 3x5 cars? Anybody had any questions we can collect from you? This will be the time before we move on to the next segue of our programming here. And
we can also receive some comments right here through the microphone. If anyone would like to make a comment, just use the microphone here in the front.
Yes.
Make sure it's on. You can push the green button.
I know. I have a question about the facade. You mentioned that it's on Florida. Is it going to be on Harvard Street as well?
It will be in a number of the streets in the downtown, so it's the downtown specific plan. If you look back, was it one meeting? just one meeting, right? One meeting, there's an attachment. Well, I don't know if it's attached. 2 meetings. We can show you what the streets are, but yes, it's about a quarter mile off of Florida in all directions.
Thank you.
And I'll be more than glad to share the map with you when we're done. Okay, thank you.
There was a question on the revitalization of downtown. I'd like you to explain the 2 ordinances we did in October for the vacant and the permitting timeline. That's important. That was a biggie.
Yeah. On the timeline, the council set in motion a couple of ordinances. I'm actually going to forget about the first one that you mentioned. Oh, okay. So we've essentially established limits on how long you can board up. I think it's only 30 days. It's pretty short before you have to move forward with your project. So there's a boarding up component, new rules related to that, and then there's also rules related to how long you can have an active permit. So we expect that when you come in for a permit that you're going to do work and finish. But if it lingers too long, and there is an appeals process, and it can be extended a little bit, but essentially the ordinance puts some limitations on how long it can take a person to do their work. And if they don't finish, they will have to go back to the starting line and get permission again to start. So a lot of these permits, they're not just over the counter. Some of the permits have to be awarded through the Planning Commission. And that's a long process. It can be very expensive. But when buildings start construction, the council expects these buildings to wrap it up within a reasonable time frame before, so that they can open and produce commerce in the community. So there have been some relatively recent changes created this year by the City Council.
Yes, ma'am. Please come right up to the front. Thank you.
It's the other green. Just 2 points that I want to bring up. I work for Hemet United Methodist Church on Buena Vista and Mayberry, and we recently had to purchase a backflow and have it installed. There were some issues that happened with it. Almost $40,000 for our church to have to purchase this. When it was being installed, we were told that many cities in California, because it's a requirement, pay for the backflow. Has the city of Hemet thought anything about any type of reimbursement program that would assist us in being able to get some of that funding back? That's the first question.
We don't have an active program, but we could have a program. So it's something that could be a policy initiative of the City Council, and you could submit a recommendation to the City Council.
Okay, because I had another church come to me and they said they're not going to do it. And we went ahead and followed the requirement. But I think there's other city churches that are looking at the fact we're nonprofits and we don't really have the additional funding, which brings me to another point. And this was before Ben. So,
Thank you for that, just in case,
yeah, you're not responsible for this one. Not long ago, we had a group from IEHP and some other nonprofit organizations that approached the city of Hemet to ask them about changing our church area into a type of community that would be able to help people that didn't have a place to live after they had had surgery or if they had been in the hospital, to take our park and convert it into small housing. They also wanted to restructure parts of our building. We're on a 5-acre property, and bring in other programs that would help some of the homeless, but also help just people within the community that are having difficulty. They approached the city of Hemet. I was not there, so I can't say exactly what happened. But when we called back to find out where this stood, they said, we got a very negative response from the city of Hemet, and we're not going to fight City Hall. We are up for sale, our 5 acres. Our church that's been there, or been in the valley 1888 is when the first Methodist church came to Hemet. And now we're looking at having to sell our property because we don't have funding in order to even pay our monthly bills. We have 4 churches that we represent at this time. We have Sala Evangelica, that's a Hispanic church that meets on Sundays. We have TTH. I'm sorry? Well, I call it TTH because that's what they're registered at. But yes, it's Tougher Than Hell Church. And they also meet on our facilities on Sunday. Our own Methodist church. And then we have Evangequip, which is mainly a black church, but they meet also on Sundays. But at that point, we have over 400 people that come to our church on Sundays. But because Hemet United Methodist Church cannot afford our $3,000 electric bill, $40,000 going out for a backflow, we're one of the ones that want that trash enclosure, because if you come and look at what we're dealing with all the time, it gets a lot of trash. But we can't afford $40,000, and if the city's paying $20,000, we get that. That's a reimbursement, but it's still something that we have to deal with. We also have Carol's Kitchen that meets at our facility now on Mondays and Thursdays. So we are helping the community in many ways. And we just want to know sometimes why are certain things turned down when it could have been something that would have benefited the community.
Yeah, I think that's a zoning issue, and you can follow up with me directly because zoning can change. And I'll have to follow up on your comments regarding what was mentioned. It sounds like it was from someone else's experience, but I'm happy to follow up with you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon. My question, I don't know if it has relevance or not, but it's pertaining to some of the businesses that has went out of business, and some of the zoning areas. I don't know if it's permitted to put new businesses there because it's creating areas for homelessness to take place, vandalism to take place, being that some of these areas are now vacant now. And I was wondering if the city was going to look into developing new businesses there in some of these areas.
Which location are you referring to?
Like Sanderson and Devonshire, the Rite Aid, all the Rite Aids that closed basically. I know they have a big issue down off of Florida at the other one with the homelessness and breaking in and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, would there be new developments for areas like that that has been closed down?
So, a lot of times it's a private sector responsibility, but one of the initiatives that Ben and I have talked about is we know that there are certain types of segments of business that are maybe underrepresented in Hemet. A gym, for example, that needs a larger space like that. And we did, one of the good things about going to the conference that we did that he mentioned is we meet people. And we met a few different gymnasiums, and we know the type of square footage that they need. We know where they don't want to be, and they don't want to be next door to a competitor necessarily, but we're going to package up a few different locations like the one you're talking about and pitch it to different types of businesses. So there are proactive efforts that we can make to try to connect investors to opportunities. It's easy for them to do that work too, but part of the challenge for a city sometimes is we have to create an environment where business wants to invest, right? We need to clean up our streets. We need to encourage others to take care of their properties, which is exactly why we have that beautification contest. And I'll mention that one of the other things that the council invested in this last year that is really, it was a very small thing behind the scenes that didn't get a lot of publicity, but they changed the frequency of street sweeping throughout town. So the commercial corridors are now swept weekly. Some of the medians, like Sanderson and Stetson, that were never swept, are swept today on a quarterly basis. We're trying to do a number of different things that create a safer, cleaner environment. 21 of those 84 initiatives that I mentioned last year, 21 of those were dedicated to safe and clean type of initiatives. the first step in any economic development strategy is to create an environment for investment. That's why we're focused on paving roads. That's why we're deploying programs like this. We want to create an environment, and process is also part of it. So part of the work that we're going to do this year is work on our development process and make sure that we are adequately staffed, that we have a customer service focus, and that's a big initiative at the City Council this year. And that creating place, infrastructure, process, the type of process through the system will create the type of environment where people will invest.
Okay, and then my other question is, I know like our mayor had developed a skate park for the kids. Is there any other developments that are being looked in to have for the kids to go and do things, activities, or, you know, just like My City Youth, you know, but more for the older ones, the adolescents that needs to turn their energy somewhere else than to be on the streets and doing everything else?
Right. So the council has about 40 initiatives this year that we're tackling, and one of those is to reimagine Weston Park. So what amenities can we bring to Weston Park that might energize that park? And it really is something that can be applied to different parks as well. But imagine a splash pad. Has anyone seen these things? They're just amazing. And when I watch kids around splash pads, I kind of wish I had one. I didn't have one when I was raising 2 children. I didn't have access to a splash pad. I would have loved to have a free thing that I could just let them play in for a couple of hours and let them have fun. But we're imagining that maybe a splash pad could be brought to Weston Park or another park. But we'll be talking to the community about what amenities the community wants in that park, and then take that same kind of idea to other parks, plan out the park, then we go compete for grant funding, then we build it. So we want a shovel-ready site so that it can compete for funding. First step is to design it, and we're going to design that with stakeholder engagement.
Now, I believe a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken, there was like a Boys and Girls Club, YMCA, here in Hemet, I believe.
It was a YMCA.
Oh, okay.
I know. I'm not sure about a Boys and Girls Club.
Is that something that could come back to the community?
Yeah, that's a nonprofit. Often they do look to partnerships with cities for some funding. It's not entirely city funding. Often they need philanthropy and support in order to continue their operations.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And one more thing, we've been working on bringing things in for the kids, and that's why we put the skate park in. Ertopia came in and they're up and running, and that's good. But we also have the pickleball courts that we put in. But we have the Simpson Park now. It was an ADA issue with it, but we're working on that. It'll be open pretty soon. That's probably something that Christian will also take over. But we're looking at bringing in Boys and Girls Clubs there, because we had somebody at the council come in and basically requested that. So we are looking at providing more opportunities for young kids and teenagers and so on. So.
And I'll just add on that before we take the last question due to time here. We've been very aggressive in doing surveys for our youth. And we don't want them to go. We want them to stay here. So you may see some open lots, parcels, etc. We are reaching out and being aggressive for development. It's simple as a golf and stuff, laser tag, go-karts, you name it. We are in the fray right now. But just like all things, we have to plant the seed first, give it a year or two, and pop up. So again, we are short with time. We do have a lot of presenters here today. We're going to be here, but we'll answer one more question before we move on to, well, actually 2 more questions. We'll get 2 more, and then we'll be done. Please go ahead.
Okay, then I'll only ask one. Hi, my name is Lizette Benitez. I represent the Hemet Valley Art Association. I have a background in architecture and urban design. So my interest is to ask about the Mastodon project. Is there any stakeholders or innovative, perhaps tech companies that we can partner with to show art as a practical function, like photovoltaic or some other type of educational exhibit rather than just beautification?
You know, the best way I can answer that question is I think we should toss it to our arts ad hoc committee and let them chew on ideas. And if you have some ideas that you'd like to share them with them, I'm sure we can connect you to them.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you.
And the ad hoc is out of our council committee, so they would be more than glad to look that up and help you out. And I'm sorry, I believe you had one more question. We'll Last question here, and again, we will be here after the event to answer all questions.
It's not so much a question, it's concern. So, I mean, we talk about economic development, but are we still in an officer deficit? So, I mean, if we're gonna invest in our city, how are we gonna protect the things we're investing in? I mean, you're talking about the Macedon thing. What happens when somebody vandalizes it? Who's gonna cover the cost to fix it or maintain it? There's a number of different things. I mean, I could sit up here and talk on a lot of the issues you guys had. The trash enclosures. What happens when they just typically, as a business owner, they just throw it next to the trash enclosure because they can't access the trash? You're still responsible for it as the business owner, but the trash is outside your enclosure. I mean, the homelessness. I've contacted CityNet. I won't name who they are. Text them. They told me, oh, I'm about to go to lunch. Don't call me back. Text me in the morning. Text them in the morning. They said, oh, we had a medical emergency. We can't deal with this gentleman. I said, you know what? If he dies in the field, I've contacted you. I've done my work. It's on you guys. So, like I said, I could be up here and comment on a lot of things, but I don't want to burn up a bunch of time. But I would like to meet with you guys afterwards just with concerns.
One thing you can do is get his card. One thing you can do is get his card, Christian Tika's.
I've done my due diligence with that.
Yeah, because he has good communication with them, and I understand where you're coming from, because I was upset about the situation when you try to contact him, you can't, but he'll answer his phone and he'll make sure he can
Well, I
contact
talked to
them.
somebody.
Right,
But
they
the
tell you,
gentleman's still in the field in 110-degree heat, obviously with a mental disability, defecating next to my business. So, I mean, I've done my due diligence. It's out of my hands at this point.
All right, well, thank you for all those questions and comments, everyone. I believe that concludes. Give me 1 second here as I... All right, everyone. Well, I can speak freely here, standing up. So we will conclude here with a couple more presentations from our partners. If all goes well, we should finish around 2 a.m. Everyone has that on their calendar, correct? Just being facetious here, but I do want to thank everyone for holding on tight here. We also, besides hearing the city, we want to offer business solutions. We want every single one of you to leave with a little nugget that you can utilize for your business. If it's subsidized tax incentives, etc. I'm getting ahead of myself, so rather the partners that we have here speak for themselves. So we'll first start off with the Hemet San Jacinto Chamber of Commerce, the Executive Director, Cindy Lemke. And then one quick note here, just due to the time here, these presentations will be about 5 to 8 minutes, but if you have questions after, we will have a small little business symposium after so you can connect with each partner. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go quick. If you've been to any of our events, we're pretty proficient and go very quickly, get to the point. I am the Executive Director for the Hemet San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce, and it sums up to this. Your goals are our goals because your success is our success. What does that even mean? It means we want to know how we can help. We want to connect you with the right people, introduce you to the community, help you achieve your goals and be successful to create opportunity for the community and create this cycle of that just happening. Is my point thing going to come up?
Yes, you should. Yeah, your PowerPoint was queued up. There it is.
It's really quick. I promise. I think it's just a few slides. This is our circle of influence. If you're a small business, you probably need a lot of help from us. And we have people in the office that have time to sit with you and talk to you about connecting the right resources for you. If you're a medium or large size business, you don't need the chamber, we need you. We need you to help support us to give back to the community. Go Further Group, Mr. Dennis has come in twice to give social media marketing information because we have, again, do I click it? Do I do this?
Yes, we do.
Nobody taught me how to do this. Oh, past it. You don't care about me. I don't need to show you me. Hold on. Up, down, sideways. You, over there. Sorry. Which one? One more. A down button? Okay. So we have Kevin and Brian in the office. This will keep me on track so I'll go sideways real quick. Kevin and Brian in the office. Kevin Saunders is business development and amazing the personality he has, you can open up to him. You feel comfortable with him. You can talk to him. And Brian is hilarious. He's there part-time, and he's our member retention to kind of continue where Kevin left off, to maintain that relationship, so that if I'm not there, Kevin's there. If Kevin's not there, Brian's there. We try to make sure that we're available to serve you. We want to answer those calls. We want to answer those emails. The good news is we have about 500 members that we're teetering on. We're actually bigger than some of the big chambers, like to the west of us, and we're very proud of that because we have a loyalty within our membership where you guys are referring each other. We're all helping each other get the word out, and it's really important that we share this information with each other. We have just been, I don't know, it's not hired. We won a contract with the County of Riverside to promote the Riverside County District 5 Employer Connect program. What does that mean? So I know that there was a lot of questions about homelessness and a lot of questions about you being successful for your business. This is kind of a combination of both things. So this is a program where you get pre-qualified to hire an employee, and after 90 days with your company and a 1 to 2 hour session of learning about resources for the homeless, they don't have to approach them. They don't have to do anything with that. I think it's changing the narrative of nobody does anything. Well, now we're learning about what resources are available and able to have those conversations. That's how I perceive this to be. And then you get reimbursed up to $9,600 after that 90 days. So the county is investing in you to invest in a new hire. So programs like this are essential. And there's many, as I'm sure Mario will go over with you, tons of programs. But those relationships are so that we can also help you and direct you into those directions as well. Sorry. Oh, that didn't come out very good. So unparalleled networking opportunities. I can talk to you forever. But I shouldn't be doing the talking. You need to be doing the talking. And what I try to inspire for you when you go to any of our events is to walk up to someone that you don't know. Did you guys see that? That scared me. Because you need to grow your influence within the community. People need to know who you are and what you do and how they can get a hold of you. And in our chamber membership, that's what they do for each other. You guys refer for each other. You're building a marketing team that refers your business. But we have a Women in Business network, a multicultural network, a Valley nonprofit network. We have monthly mixers. We have a Transportation Now. That's all things transportation every month. Monthly mixers. And tomorrow is one of our huge events. We have our gala tomorrow night. And guess what? This is the first time in 5 years we're actually sold out before the event. I was so proud. So I was really excited. What is that, you say? It's an installation of the new board of directors, and it's a celebration in 10 categories for our businesses to earn awards, and everybody celebrate each other. So it's a wonderful way to kick off the year and just kind of celebrate forward momentum, because we all need that. We need positive and enforcements, and we need that from each other to get us to continue moving in the forward momentum. One more. So business visibility and promotion. So on top of all those networkings, we have a website. Kevin and I do a lot of social media together. We do Facebook Lives on Tuesday and Thursday, and we have a lot of fun with it. What we are trying to promote is not just chamber events and not just community events. We're trying to show you that you don't have to be perfect when you do social media, but people need to know who you are and what you do and how to get a hold of you. You don't have to be afraid to do it, because if you watch Kevin and I, we are not perfect. We are not always, we go off on a tangent sometimes, but people love it. And you can do it. It's super simple. We share all of our tips and tricks. We want to engage you. We want to help you be engaged in the community. We have a monthly magazine. People call the chamber all the time because it's in digital on the website. We share it on social media, but they want it in hand, in print. You can be in there, and there's ways for you not just to buy advertising, because I'm not trying to nickel and dime our members all the time. There's ways to be in there for free by adding value and getting your message that benefits our membership and the community. I don't have to charge you for that. You're giving a reason to pick up the Chat magazine. So there's lots of opportunities for us to support each other. But business visibility is how we help you get the word out about who you are, what you do, and how people can find you. Advocacy and influence. We're also part of 2 legislation coalitions, if you will, the Inland Empire Chamber Alliance and the Southwest Legislative Council. That's where we go over every new legislative possible bill that is pro-business or pro-education or pro-housing. We make sure that we are advocating for you or bringing it to your attention so that you know what's coming. Because you guys are really busy running your business and trying to get your things done. You should see the packet I have to read. I'm doing you a favor. But sometimes it's really important, and we have to have those conversations. You'll see some of that information in the chat when it's really important, or if there's something that's coming up that you're going to vote on. So advocacy and influence. You have problems with the city, you have problems with the state, you have something you need from the county. We want to be able to say, we know that person and we can introduce you to them because we want you to have the answers. It's all about you achieving your goals, because when you're successful, we know we did a little bit to help you, and that's what we're trying to do. There is a whole bunch more, but Kevin and I will be at the table. We have our website, like I said, social media. Come and see us in the office. We love to sit and chat and learn about you, hear your story, and see how we can help you. My name is Cindy Lemke. I'm the Executive Director for the Hemet San Jacinto Chamber of Commerce, and I hope to talk to you today.
Perfect. Thank you to the Executive Director from the Hemet Chamber of Commerce. And in addition, we do have department directors here from the City of Hemet. So you yourself have a question in regards to community development. We have Monique and Elise here, Fletcher. We also have PD. We have the 2 captains right on that corner. So if you have any questions in regarding to police, please see them as well. And we have the building official, Javier, as well, in regards to department heads. So if you have any questions regarding those items, please feel free to do so. Next up, again, we want to keep these short just to kind of move things along. We do have the Small Business Administration, the SBA. We have the Economic Development Specialist, Sylvia Gutierrez. Sylvia, if you can please come up. You are next. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate it. It's so wonderful to be here. I congratulate you for taking the time to be at this event today, learning about the resources that we have to share with you to start and grow your business. My name is Sylvia Gutierrez. I'm an economic development specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration, and I'm here with my colleague, Lorena May. She's an outreach and marketing representative as well as a public information officer. And I can assure you that the resources that we have from the U.S. Small Business Administration and the resource partners that are partially funded by us, they coincide and they will definitely help you start and grow your businesses, which will inevitably contribute to the strategic plan that the city has to grow and make it an attractive final destination. And you are already doing that, and I commend you for that. The videos are wonderful, and everything that you're doing is definitely going to put you in the next level for a final destination. And I would like to ask you to pull up on your phone the website for the U.S. Small Business Administration. You can Google it, sba.gov. And the reason why I want you to do that is so that you can keep it as a safe website, so that you can look at everything that we have there, all the programs and services that we have there for you. The SBA is a federal government agency that has several programs. I like to call them that they're 4 pillars of programs to help you start and grow a business. For example, the first one is the management and technical assistance, which we provide with the help of our resource partners, partially funded by the SBA, the Small Business Development Centers, the Women Business Centers, and SCORE. And they are here today. And Cindy, I'd love to connect with you later so that we can talk more about how we can work together and help you support the business community. So of the 4 pillars of the SBA is the management and technical assistance, the access to capital. How many of you are familiar with the SBA loan programs or with the SBA in general? Wow, okay. Probably less than half. And I'm sure that in the next few weeks and months, the number is going to grow because I really want to see you be familiar with these resources. We have excellent programs and services and resources. For example, the SBA has about 14 different loan programs, but we're only known for about 2 or 3. The 7A, which is a general purpose loan, the 504 for real estate machinery and equipment, and during the pandemic, we were known for the EIDL loan program. How many of you were able to take advantage of the EIDL loan program? And I hope you did. And then we have the 3rd pillar of the SBA is the federal contracting program. How many of you have a product or service that you can sell to the government, that you can sell to the city or the state, or the federal government buys everything? They buy designer websites, they buy parts for airplanes. And just to give you an idea, the federal government spends over $500 billion worth of goods and services, and 23% of that budget is supposed to be spent for small businesses. Women can receive up to 5% in government contracts. Veterans, about 3%. And I'm sorry, I forgot at this point the other percentage. But suffice it to say that 23% of those over $500 billion is supposed to go to small businesses. Through our office, through our resource partners, you can get the certifications that you need in order to have access to government contracts. These are contracts that are set aside for you once you are certified to compete for these contracts. And I encourage you to look into it. We are going to be here, our resource partners are here, SCORE is here, so that you can talk about, ask questions about how you can participate in these programs. Also, I like to share with people always when we talk about government contracting, if you have a product or service that you can sell to the government, chances are that you can participate in international trade. People outside of the border of the United States, they love products coming from the U.S. So I encourage you to look into how to do business abroad. People buy services and products and goods from the United States, and I encourage you to look into it because it can be a very profitable market for you. So how do we help small businesses? Through the office. Our office, for example, is located in Santa Ana, and we service Orange County, San Bernardino, and Riverside. We have resource partners, small business development centers, and women business centers located in the Inland Empire in different areas, and we provide free consulting up to 1 hour and as many hours as you need throughout the different stages of your business. For example, I know business owners that started getting consulting when they started the business from SCORE and in the beginning, and once they have been in business for 5 or 10 years, they continue to meet with their business consultant in order to get ideas and to review their business plan, and up to 10 years into business, they continue to meet with their resource partners in order to get that information. So I encourage you to come over to our table, to the tables of our resource partners, the Small Business Development Centers, and we also work with chambers very closely. We work with economic development departments. I'm really glad that Ben he's going into 5 months into his job, but when he contacted us, he had only been there 2 months. And I'm like, how do you know about us? You've been in your position for 2 months and you're already reaching out for the SBA. Definitely, we want to go over there and help you. So that's how much of a driver he is, high energy person. So I encourage you to come over and talk with us about how we can help you start and grow a business, take it to the next level, use the latest technology. We have on our website, you can check us, Orange County Inland Empire District Office. We have a calendar of events. If we would love to get the events that you have from the chamber or the city, so that we can put them on the website. You can also check the events that are going on throughout the Tri-County area, so that you can attend. For example, some of the seminars that have been very popular lately have been those on AI, artificial intelligence. We have events in which we have packed room like this, thinking that we're only going to get 30 to 50 people. We have 150, 250, 300 people learning how to use AI in their businesses. So I'm sure that we're going to be working with you more. And I encourage you to look at our website, like I started to say, and look at the calendar of events that we have on, for example, government contracting. Here we can tell you a little bit about it, but if you go to the website and you sign up for one of the webinars, which is about 3 hours, learning the topic, the vocabulary on how to do business with government could be very beneficial for you, or anything else, like growing your business, marketing, signing up for 1 hour of business consulting with one of our counselors, either from SCORE, from the Women Business Centers, or from the Small Business Development Center. So again, I have my business cards here. I'm Sylvia Gutierrez. I'm an economic development specialist with the SBA. I look forward to speaking with you, and I thank you for your time. And thanks again. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, here. So just moving things along here. Thank you to the SBA, and for all those that are waiting here, there is going to be an amazing business symposium after. So you definitely want to stick around so you can ask your pending questions. I know a lot of you have some great questions for the SBA based on the survey that we received. Moving on here, we have next. We're going to have SCORE come up. We're going to have the district manager doing the presentation. If you can, George, will you be doing the presentation? Great. So we have George from SCORE will be doing the presentation. Can we give a round of applause to George, please? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm one of over 5,000 creative thinkers that solve business problems. And I prepared a video, and I'm going to go with that. But before we do that, I want to throw out the first candidate that ever came to me. She was a gal that wanted to start a tiki bar in Redlands. She had no money. After the video, think about it, I'll tell you what I told her. Can we start the video, please?
Starting a small business can feel like navigating a maze blindfolded. This strikingly underscores the transformative power of mentorship. Enter SCORE, a non-profit organization dedicated to fostering small business success through education and one-on-one mentorship, webinars, on-demand classes, and business templates. With a network of over 5,000 volunteer mentors, SCORE has been a beacon of hope and encouragement for aspiring entrepreneurs across the nation. SCORE has been partnered with and funded by the Small Business Administration, leveraging this relationship to provide robust support and resources to entrepreneurs. SCORE never charges for its forever mentoring services, classes, templates, and most of its webinars. By offering free, confidential business mentoring, SCORE aims to empower entrepreneurs and small business owners, non-profits and local government agencies to succeed in their ventures. The organization's vision is to ensure that every person has the support necessary to thrive in business. SCORE's unwavering dedication to mentorship and education continues to drive its mission forward, helping to build a more dynamic and prosperous entrepreneurial community nationwide. The one-on-one forever mentoring at SCORE involves personalized guidance tailored to the unique needs of each entrepreneur. This mentoring is a direct, individualized and confidential interaction between an experienced mentor and an aspiring entrepreneur. SCORE's mentoring sessions are designed to be flexible and accommodating. The frequency and duration of these sessions can vary. The formats for these mentoring sessions are diverse, allowing for in-person meetings, online video calls, email information and suggestions, text messages or telephone conversations. SCORE mentors are seasoned business professionals and their supporting mentors who all volunteer their time and expertise to help businesses succeed. These mentors come from a variety of industries and backgrounds, including retired executives, experienced entrepreneurs and business leaders. A mentor will add as many co-mentors as needed to augment their skills or knowledge on a particular issue. So when you are engaged with a mentor, he has over 5,000 mentors with specialized skills to draw on. SCORE's clients are free to seek out multiple additional SCORE mentors to get additional perspectives. SCORE offers mentoring in English and Spanish.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, just due to time, we're going to cut the video short here, but go ahead and finish up, George. Thank you.
All right. Anyhow, for the Tiki Gal, her goal was to become the Tiki Goddess. She wanted to be known by everybody in the industry as the Tiki Goddess. Starting a bar would not accomplish that. So what I told her to do, or suggested to do, is she put together a package of the fancy cups and drinks, the liquor, and have it drop shipped from somebody who has all the liquor licenses and stuff, and be known as that Tiki Goddess. These are creative thinkers, 5,000 of us. You can have as many as you want. Forever we're free. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. And SCORE is a great resource for those entrepreneurs. They will meet with you one-on-one. Doesn't matter if it's 2 a.m., they'll be there making sure you have those resources needed. And I can attest to that. George is very aggressive in making assisting you. Very nice. Thank you. All right, here we're almost to the end of the kind of the presentation. I would say midway, but we're going to move in through here because we want to respect everyone's time. Next, we have Chase Bank. We have the Vice President of Community Manager, Franklin Rivera. Franklin.
All right, guys. I'll make this quick. As Ben said, I'm the VP for Community and Business Development for Chase Bank, and I've got a PowerPoint here that I was just going to share with you guys, but it's really brief. But back in 2020, we started an initiative with Chase Bank where we are committed to helping our communities build generational wealth. And so how can we do that in the space that we participate in, right? We heard a lot about growth. We heard a lot about relationship building, and those were the two things that we wanted to to begin with. And so one of the things that we do is providing financial health education to our communities. And we focus on some of the pillars that help drive that generational wealth. The first one is home ownership and how we can provide access to that. We also offer support for small businesses and their growth, and access to traditional banking, specifically in underserved communities where the trust for banks doesn't really exist. And we don't have historically the information needed to thrive and grow. And so when we began our initiative, we said we need a space where our communities can come together and learn. And so we started out with one community center and have now grown to 14 across the country. And I'm just being brief with this just to give you guys some time back. But we've also hired 150 community and business development managers across the country to help provide this education. My role here is, and I'm going to slide through this, again, is just to serve as a local ambassador to build and nurture relationships with our communities. So I partner with nonprofit organizations, business owners, to come out and again provide some of that support and expand our education and our knowledge beyond the four walls of just a traditional bank. Additionally, for small business, we do offer some solutions for those that have began their business. They're at the point where they're ready to grow and scale. I think George just offered some mentorship program. We offer the same. We offer a one-on-one mentorship program for up to 4 months for business owners who have been in business a couple of years or starting to make some money and they don't really know where to go. Our senior business consultants can help with developing marketing strategies, creating business plans, anything really that gets in the way to help them grow. Additionally, we also offer financial health workshops for small business owners. So we teach how to become lendable, how to become profitable, how to create a strong foundation, how to market your business in a digital space, social media and all that, and also how to become a diverse supplier, so how to compete for government contracts or with larger firms or companies. The last thing that we offer as well is if you are a minority-owned business, there is a certification process where you can become a certified minority-owned business. Chase has a reimbursement program where we can also reimburse that the cost associated with that. So we have a table here. We've got a lot of information. I would love to get to meet all of you guys and offer some of those solutions. We're hoping to change trajectories for families, for business owners, and for communities. Thank you so much for the time today, and have a great day.
And the time that I met Franklin, the 2 months, I can assure you they have some great workshops. I feel like every day I'm getting an email from Franklin about an upcoming workshop at no cost. So they're definitely doing some great work, and I do like about this is their, I wouldn't call it a nonprofit umbrella, but they are there to work with you at no cost. That's the great part. All right, here, so keeping the flow moving here, we got next up from the Department of Rehabilitation, DOR, a tongue twister for me for some reason. We got the Business Engagement Specialist, Sania Kuriakos. You can please come up. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then what do I do? Do I just push the down button? Okay. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for inviting me today to come and talk about the Department of Rehabilitation and how this California agency supports Californians with disabilities find meaningful employment. I am Sania Kuriakos, a business specialist, and it is my job to go out into the community and really be a workforce resource to small and large businesses. And I am also, always developing really great community partnerships, meeting amazing people. So yeah, let me move forward, talk to you a little bit about our services. Sorry, it's this one, right? It's not working. Oh, maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay. So our services. So yeah, we have an amazing counseling team in all of our offices throughout California. They're really focused on identifying our job seekers' skills and abilities and really identifying potential barriers to employment as well. And then they use career exploration tools to then identify an employment goal. And we also have work incentive planners that help our job seekers who may be receiving benefits understand how working is going to impact their financial situation. We help with job search, resume writing, interview prep. We really help our talented pool of job seekers put their best self forward and present themselves to employers in this competitive job market. Our counselors will also depending on the employment goal, of course, our counselors will determine if more training or education is needed, and the DOR does help to fund that depending on the circumstance. And then assistive technology. We provide equipment, anything to help our job seekers be successful in the workplace. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we'll talk a little bit about business incentives. There are definitely tax credits that businesses can utilize when hiring from our job pool, our pool of candidates. There's the work opportunity tax credit and also the disabled tax credit. That one is something that businesses can use if they've done any kind of accommodation in the workplace. And then for our programming, we've got our on-the-job training stipend, which covers up to $4,999 in training costs for any new hire. And then we have our paid work experience program, which some of our community partners here have utilized and love. So I will talk about that just a little bit. So the purpose of that program is to really provide our job seekers with the experience that they need to put on their resume, fill in employment gaps, and also determine if that employment goal that we identified for them is indeed the goal that they really want to strive for, right? So the work experience is wonderful because the DOR and vendors will be the employer of record, will take care of all the wages and workers' comp and everything for up to 100 hours. No obligation to hire them after that period is over. So let me see, sorry. I'm trying to go fast. Okay, and there's my contact info. I've also got it back there at the table. I look forward to answering any questions you may have. If you're a business, please stop by, drop off your card. I'd love to visit with you, do a consultation, and that's it. Thank you so much.
Did I just hear subsidized employment for interns? I might be interested myself, actually. That's fantastic. That's great to know here. So moving on here, we're almost done with presentations. I like to call this the penultimum. Next up, we have from Riverside County Workforce Development Board, we have the Business Engagement Specialist, Mario Parales. Mario?
Good afternoon, everybody. Mario Parales, Riverside County Workforce Development, specifically the Business Solutions Specialist. I'm with the Business Services team. Can you guys hear me? Is this on? Okay, I'm tripping. So it's wonderful to be here with the City of Hemet. I work closely with Ben. He's actually a workforce alum, so that's how he knows a lot about our programs and what we do and how we work with businesses to facilitate hiring and other reimbursement programs. So workforce development ecosystem. So we want to be that bridge, that gap, to fill that gap between the skilled and prepared workforce and our strong and resilient employers. I initially started in the Riverside office, but I have been in the Hemet office for about 8-9 months, but I would love to connect with more businesses and display a lot of our programs to them. So I'll go pretty quick because we do have a lot of programs going on. So a few summary of our services. So we do have under workforce development, we have our adults, our youth, and our employers. With our adults, we have career coaching, assessments, job ready workshops, as well as ITAs, which are individualized training accounts. Those are trainings for individuals looking for vocational training. So if they want to go into something like nursing or medical assistant, we can pay upwards of $8,000 for that training. And I would also add that after COVID, we diminished the role of a mobile workshop development specialist who will go around to our various AJCCs and give resume workshops and boot camps of that matter when it comes to maybe online services and learning with computers and whatnot. But that role has been brought back, so that will be a new role that will be filled. They will be going around and giving the workshops when it comes to resume readiness, as well as computer workshops to be ready for that as well. So with our youth, I know we had Greg Snow. He was here for a little bit. He's with our Youth Opportunity Centers. Ours is just down the street from where I'm at on State Street. So they focus on individuals who are 16 to 24 with career exploration, skills training, work experience, as well as various other workshops when it comes to educational and money workshops, as well as FAFSA. And then last but not least, we have our side with the employer services team. So we work in conjunction with businesses on different events like job fairs, as well as recruitment, as well as the various programs that we have. So we want to be, like I said, we want to bridge the gap, gain the trust, listen to the need, and offer our services. So we want to connect with employers who, you know, are looking to become champions in their right. They want to connect with local job seekers who are ready to be trained, and we have programs that can subsidize the cost for hiring those individuals. So we do have key targets that we want to aim to fill. Those are healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, and transportation, also known as transportation and warehousing, construction, administrative support, and retail trade. So with employer services, we have three main ideas. We have growing your business workforce, training your workforce, and downsizing your workforce. So starting off with growing your workforce, we have a free job board where businesses can post their jobs, their opportunities, and they can also register and make an account to find resumes on there as well that can connect and fill the gaps for any of the positions that they're looking to fill. So with recruitment and attraction, we can distribute job flyers through our various channels and our networks. Those get distributed and put up in our various CRAs, our career resource areas that are in our 4 AJCCs. Our local one here in Hemet gets distributed at any time a business connects with us and they want us to share the job flyers and whatnot. We also have referrals to other partner agencies, organizations. If we cannot fill the need for the company of what they need at the moment, we can connect them with the appropriate source. We also have job scraping through our database and pre-screen job candidates through our CalJobs website, so we can find resumes ourselves and see if we can connect them with any employers who are looking within the area. So growing your workforce business. So first, hire District 5. This is a program that started back in August of 2023. So it is a stipend program where if a District 5 company, District 5 is Hemet, San Jacinto, Banning, Beaumont, Cabazon, and Moreno Valley. If you hire an individual that's from that same district, you could receive a stipend of upwards of $1,000, whether the person is full-time or part-time. Now, that was just updated because not too long ago, it was just full-time employees, but now it is for full-time and part-time. If you are a smaller business, so 10 individuals or less, you can receive a stipend of upwards of $2,500. And you can do 5 for that program, but we also have 2 different ones. We have Hire a Vet as well as Hire a Senior. So you can use upwards of 5 for each. So that's a total of 15 altogether that you can use for the program. Now, our next program is our Transitional Jobs Program. So to summarize this, it is a more or less an internship program where our career services area counselors, they find individuals who have had a hard time finding employment, whether it be individuals who maybe were incarcerated or they were long-term ill, and they're having a hard time finding employment. And we try to connect them with employers who can get 100% subsidized job assistance at $16 an hour. And that is paid through the California Community College Foundation. If you would like to pay the individual more than that, you can. You would just cover that difference. But that is $16 worth of reimbursement for, I believe, the first 320 hours up to that. As Cindy had touched on a little bit, here's our Employer Connect program. So the requirement for this one is the individual would have to go through our continuum of care branch of workforce, where they would be receiving a class on some of the services that can be provided to homeless individuals who are near businesses. This is to try and kind of advocate to maybe not always go for code enforcement or police, and to kind of give maybe the homeless community some of the resources that can be given through that. So that is a course that it has to be done by that employee to receive the reimbursement, but entire company can do the training if they would like to also engage in that. So this is one of our biggest ones when it comes to training your workforce. So our on-the-job training program works as a reimbursement program for a new hire that you're looking to bring on. So we can reimburse 50% for the first 480 hours of a new hire. Now that new hire does need to meet a few qualifications. For example, we want them to receive full-time permanent employment status. So anyone who's coming from being unemployed, part-time, temporary worker, and they're going on to receive full-time employment status, then we can do the program for them. So it doesn't have to be a Riverside County resident. I know other counties do it different. We can do a resident who's outside of the county, as long as the business is from Riverside County. And we also have incumbent worker training. Incumbent worker training serves also as a reimbursement program where we can cover 50 to 90% for training that results in a certificate. Now, that certificate needs to be industry certified, as well as coming from a wage or promotion. So, for example, if you have a company that is a auto kind of body shop company, and they would like a cohort of employees to receive a certificate, and if it will result in industry certified certificate, a wage increase, or a promotion, we can reimburse 50 to 90% for that training. Now, we also, since we have, training our workforce and growing workforce, we also have downsizing workforce. We know it's not what we always want to hear, but we do have, businesses getting laid off and things like that. We have a rapid response team that deals directly with companies who are laying off employees. So we put together a team of us, workforce development, our career resource counselors, as well as EDD, unemployment insurance, as well as their branch of training services, along with other child support services, and any service that we can get together to kind of make an easier pathway for the individual who's getting laid off. Last but not least, we have our at no cost human resource hotline for Riverside County businesses. Any HR question you have, you can go ahead and dial that number Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We've had that for quite a while. I don't know. I think it gets used a bit, but I think it could probably be used a lot more because it is a free service for any question on HR, on hiring, firing, and anything in between. So we have our 5 locations. It's more about 4. That Blythe one is a satellite location. It's the little one over there. But we have our 4 locations. We have our Riverside location, our Indio, our Moreno Valley, and our Hemet location, which is where I am stationed at. So I want to say thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, I will be back at our Riverside County Workforce Development booth to answer all your questions on any of the programs that we have. And I would like to work closely with a lot of Hemet businesses, especially since I started at Riverside, so I have a good connection with Riverside businesses. But I am, born in the Hemet Hospital, and I would love to connect with more Hemet businesses to kind of get together with them and kind of grow this community. So thank you.
And for those that are wondering, one of the highest costs, as you know, for business owners is hiring someone. The in-kind costs. The first 500 hours, you're trying to figure out, is this person going to work? Am I going to keep them? What, endless questions. Well, to the Workforce Development Board, to their pre-apprenticeship program, to the work experience, you're able to cover that cost. So definitely take advantage of that. And last but not least, we're very excited to welcome from the Micro Enterprise Collaboration, the Executive Director, Pamela Deans. Pamela?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank you, Ben. Thank you, Mark. City of Hemet is on fire, right? I love it. All right. Well, yes, I am the Executive Director for the Micro Enterprise Collaborative of Inland Southern California. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and we are a collective impact model, which is a little different, meaning that we don't provide the direct services to small business owners, but our resource partners do the technical assistance training, business counseling, and access to capital. So we have about 60 or so service providers at no cost on our website, and I will go through this here with you in just a second. Would you mind helping me with that? On the down one? There we go. No? Oh, there we go. It's thinking about it. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just pass on through that. I want to go the other way, though. All right. There we go. So let me show you back a little bit. So Micro Enterprise Collaborative, we were founded in 2011 after an FDIC listening session. And at the time, we discovered that there was only one micro lender, which basically a micro business is 10 or under, and one serving the entire region. And so we gathered together a group of professionals and started the Micro Enterprise Collaborative, and we got our own 501c3 in 2019. So we are now going strong 13 years later, and now there is about 7 micro-lending CDFIs, or Community Development Financial Institutions, serving the Inland Empire, and AMPAC is our largest one and based right here in Ontario. And we provide access to capital along with technical assistance. We have a network of about 700 people, partners, including universities, cities, chambers. We actually host our small business assistance tool there are 52 cities in the Inland Empire. We host our web tool on their website at no cost. We also do that for the chambers, the county libraries, and so forth, so we can expand our reach of nonprofit services. We also, one of the things that we do is support those who are working with the small businesses. So for example, we get funding and we re-grant that to help these other organizations to build their capacity so that they can continue to serve the entrepreneurs and business owners. We also support upskilling, and we offer on our website a blog with all kinds of resources. So if you want to know how to start a business, how to start your LLC, it's very interactive, so you can head to our website. We also have a grants and loans page, and right now on there's about $25 million available in grants, so we do encourage you to check out our website. And all kinds of new opportunities. We have jobs, we have collective events, we support those who are working with the small business owners. And so that's a little bit different than working directly with the entrepreneurs, but we do also things on our website to do them. We have partnered with Cameo and Cal OSBA to really support the SSBCI initiative to get more access to capital and further expand our network as well. So we have a lot of growing that we're going through. And just wanted to encourage you to check out our no-cost, low-cost resources, which is actually no cost. I think there's one on there that's $25 for a certificate, but about 60 different providers. So please check it out if you are starting a business, or you're going through the growing pains of growing in a business, or maybe you're now past the micro business and you're growing into small business, which is 100 or more, or 100 and less employees. We always provide updates to our website, and we continue to partner with those who are working with the entrepreneurs. So our website is Microbiz in SoCal. Please check us out. You can see all of our small business assistance tool and how we can help the service providers. And one of the things we also do is advocacy for small businesses. Right now, we were instrumental in this County of Riverside to open up the MICO, the Micro Enterprise Home Kitchen Initiative. Recently, Los Angeles has started that, and so has San Diego. And so we are working fervently with San Bernardino County. Just a little bit more hoops to jump through, and so we'll continue working on that until every micro entrepreneur has the opportunity to start their own business. So that's about it. Thank you very much. Look forward to talking to you later today. Thank you.
Thank you to the executive director. And can we give a round of applause to all of our presenters today, please? What a great round of presentations today. We know we had a very ambitious agenda, and before we pass it over to the mayor here to close us out, I would like to have Kathy, the librarian, to come up real quickly. I believe she had a few words about the library. No? Yeah? Okay, well, I think she was going to give tours today to the library. So if anybody interested, Kathy is ready to go and give out tours. So again, we will have a great business symposium for another 30 minutes. If you have those pending questions, maybe you thought about it throughout the presentation, we'll be here. And again, thank you. And I'm going to pass it over to the mayor to close us off today. Mayor?
Okay, we want to thank everyone for coming today, especially the businesses, and we want to let you know on our website too, if you go to the economic development website on the Hemet website page, you can pull up each and every one of these businesses that came tonight. So I love the last one. You're great. I mean, you're all great, but I had a business when I first started when I was young, and it took a lot to start the business. If I would have had you available at the time, it would have made it a lot easier. But anyways, we do want to thank you. We do want you to take advantage of what you have here. So please see all the tables and get some information, and thank you for coming here tonight. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Huh?
Get those handshakes on camera.
Oh.
Yes, I did it right there. It was done purposely.
That was good. That was really good. I mean, I learned a lot tonight.
It was ambitious agenda, but we got
Yeah.
it through.
Oh, yeah,
We
definitely.
made it.